Welcome all to this e-lecture on cycloconverters. I am Chhatrapal Singh, and in this e-lecture I will discuss the principle of operation of single phase to single phase cycloconverters. First we have to understand what a cycloconverter is. So a device which converts input power at one frequency to the output power at different frequency in a single stage is known as a cycloconverter. And then application of cycloconverters: speed control of high power AC drives, second induction heating, third is static bar compensation. And the general use of cycloconverter is to provide either a variable frequency power from a fixed input frequency power, as in case of AC motor speed control, or a fixed frequency power from a variable input frequency power, as in case of wind generator. Now cycloconverters are of two types. First, step down, and second one is step up cycloconverter. So in step down cycloconverter, the output frequency is less than the supply frequency, and in the step up cycloconverter, the output frequency is greater than the supply frequency. Now principle of operation of single phase to single phase cycloconverter. First, midpoint type step up cycloconverter with resistive load. It consists of a transformer with midpoint secondary and 4 thyristor T1 to T4 as shown in this figure. Thyristor T1 and T4 from positive group and thyristor T2 and T3 are from negative group. Positive direction of output voltage and current are marked as in this figure. So that during positive half cycle of the supply voltage, terminal A is positive with respect to B. So the SCR T1 and T4 are forward bias from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi. Now the thyristor T1 is turned on at omega t is equal to 0. So the current in the circuit is flows in this direction, and the load voltage is positive and follows the supply voltage envelope. And at instant omega t is equal to theta 1, T1 is force commutated and forward bias thyristor T4 is triggered, so that the load voltage is negative. So the load voltage is negative and follows the negative envelope of the supply voltage. So the load voltage is negative and follows the negative envelope of the supply voltage. Now at omega t is equal to theta 2, thyristor T4 is force commutated, again thyristor T1 is triggered, and now load voltage become positive and follows the positive envelope of the supply voltage. Again thyristor T1 is commutated and thyristor T4 is triggered, and so on for positive half cycle. First T1, T4, then T1, then T4, then T1, then T4. Now at after omega t is equal to pi, terminal B is positive with respect to A. Both thyristor T2 and T3 are forward bias from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to 2 pi. At omega t is equal to pi, T4 is force commutated and forward bias thyristor T3 is triggered, and load voltage is positive. When T3 is triggered, then the load voltage is positive and current flows in this direction. Now at omega t is equal to Fs by 2 plus F0 by 2 at this instant, at this omega t. So T3 is force commutated and forward bias thyristor T2 is turned on, and the output voltage becomes negative and the load current flows in this direction. In this manner, thyristor T1 and T4 for positive half cycle and thyristor T2 and T3 are for negative half cycle, and so on, switched alternatively between positive and negative envelope of the at high frequency. So as you can see, output frequency F0 is greater than the supply frequency Fs. So this is a step up cycloconverter. Now second topic is bridge type cycloconverter. with resistive load. This is also a step up cycloconverter. So it consists of total 8 thyristor T1 to T4 from 4 from positive group and thyristor S1 to S4 4 from negative group. When let us assume this terminal is A and this is B. So when A is positive with respect to B during positive half cycle of the supply voltage, thyristor T1 and T2 and thyristor S1 and S2 are forward bias from omega t is equal to 0 to omega t is equal to pi. When forward bias thyristor T1 and T2 are triggered at omega t is equal to 0, then the load voltage terminal is positive and followed by the positive envelope of the supply S1 in the waveform. When T1 and T2 is triggered, so in this condition the current flows through T1, then load, then T2, and the load voltage is positive as shown in this waveform when T1 and T2 is triggered. And now at omega t is equal to theta 1, so T1 and T2 are force commutated and thyristor S1 and S2 are triggered. With this, load voltage will be negative and follows negative envelope of the supply voltage. As you can see, when thyristor S1 and S2 is triggered, then the current flow through S1, then load, and then S2. First then S1 and then load and then S2. So you can see the load voltage in this condition is negative and current is in the direction of the current is opposite as the marked direction of the load current. Further, at omega t is equal to theta 2, thyristor T1 and T2 are turned on and the load voltage is now positive and follows the positive envelope of the supply voltage. And now after omega t is equal to pi, thyristor T3 and T4 and thyristor S3 and S4 are forward bias. Then there can therefore be turned on and force commutated from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to 2 pi. In this way, output frequency can be increased than the supply frequency. As we can see that in midpoint cycloconverters, only one thyristor is triggered at a time, and in bridge type cycloconverter, two thyristors are triggered at a time to vary the output frequency. Now the third topic is midpoint type step down cycloconverter with resistive load. So the power diagram is same as for the step up cycloconverter. When A is positive with respect to B during positive half cycle of the supply voltage, forward bias thyristor T1 is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha. With this, load current I0 start flowing in the positive direction as marked in this figure. So the thyristor T1 remains on till omega t is equal to pi. T1 is on, remains on till omega t is equal to pi. And the load current is 0 at omega t is equal to pi, and the supply voltage falls to 0, and thus T1 is self-computed at pi. Now after pi, negative cycle of supply start, hence B is positive with respect to A. Thereby forward bias thyristor T3 is triggered. T3 is triggered at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Here T3 is triggered. Now with this, load voltage follows the positive envelope. When T3 is on with negative half cycle, then the current flows in this direction. So we can see that the load voltage is positive and also the current is flowing in positive direction. So at omega t is equal to 2 pi at this instant, thyristor T3 is commutated. After such two positive half cycle of load voltage and load current, thyristor T4 is gated at omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. Here T4 is triggered. When A is positive with respect to B, as T4 is forward bias, it starts conducting. but the load direction is reversed. When T4 is on, then the current flows in this direction. So this is the negative direction of the marked current, marked load current. And the load voltage follow negative envelope of the supply. Now at omega t is equal to 4 pi. Now at omega t is equal to now at omega t is equal to 3 pi, thyristor T4 is naturally commutated and hence goes to 0 as shown in the waveform. In a sequence at omega t is equal to 3 pi, at here it is. Yes. At omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha, T2 is triggered as B is positive with respect to A. So T2 start conducting. And load voltage and current will be negative. When T2 start conducting, then the current flows in this direction, which is opposite direction of the marked load current. So the both load voltage and load current are negative. In this manner, two negative cycles of load voltage and load current is equal to the two positive half cycles of load voltage and load current. So it is seen from this waveform that the frequency of output voltage is the half of the supply frequency, that is output frequency is 1 by 2 of Fs. Now next is bridge type step down cycle converter with resistive load. So when the resistive type load is inserted, so we have to understand the principle of this type of cycloconverter. So the waveform for both midpoint type and this type are same for the both step down cycloconverter. Now the power circuit diagram for the bridge type cycloconverter is as shown in this figure. So it contains total number of 8 thyristor T1 to T4 for positive group and S1 to S4 for negative group. So when let us assume this is terminal A and this is B. So when A is positive with respect to B, so the forward bias thyristor T1 and T2 is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha. Here at alpha we have to trigger T1 and T2. With this load current I0 start flowing in the positive direction from A to O. The waveform for the load current for this period is shown in this figure. This is the load current waveform and this is the load voltage. So the thyristor T1 and T2 remains on till omega t is equal to pi. At omega t is equal to pi, the load current is 0 as supply voltage falls to 0 and hence T1 and T2 is commutated at omega t is equal to pi naturally. After omega t is equal to pi, negative cycle of supply start, hence B is positive with respect to A. Then this terminal becomes positive with respect to this. Thereby forward bias thyristor T3 and T4 is triggered at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Here T3 and T4 is triggered and the load voltage now is shown in this waveform. So now the load voltage becomes like this. At omega t is equal to 2 pi, thyristor T3 and T4 is commutated. After such two positive half cycle of the load voltage and load current, thyristor S1 and S2 is triggered at 2 pi plus alpha. As A is positive with respect to B, then S1 and S2 is triggered. Thyristor S1 and S2 are in forward bias, it start conducting, but load direction is reversed. When S1 and S2 is triggered, the load current flowing through S1, then S2. So the direction of the current is in this way. So the direction of the current is the opposite direction as the marked direction. So it is from O to A at omega t is equal to 3 pi. At here thyristor S1 and S2 is naturally commutated and load current goes to 0 as shown in the waveform. In this sequence at omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha, S3 and S4 is triggered as B is positive with respect to A. S3 and S4 start conducting and load voltage and current will be negative as drawn in this waveform diagram. In this manner, two negative half cycle of load voltage and load current is equal to the two positive half cycle of the load voltage and load current, and it is seen from the waveform the frequency of the output voltage, and the output current is the half of the supply frequency. Now next topic is single phase to single phase midpoint type step down cycle converter with RL load. Now we have to understand the principle of the single phase to single phase midpoint type step down cycle converter with RL load. So as we have seen, step down cycle converter do not require any force commutated. So with RL load there are two modes of operation. First, discontinuous load current and continuous load current. So we have to understand first discontinuous load current. So when A is positive with respect to B, forward bias thyristor T1 and T4. So when A is positive with respect to B, then T1 and T4 are forward bias. So thyristor T1 is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha. Here we have to trigger T1. With this load current I not start building up in a positive direction from A to K. From A to K. When T1 is triggered, the current flows in this direction. So now at omega t is equal to beta. Omega t is equal to beta means here in this instant. So load current I naught becomes 0. So where beta is the extension angle. So beta is greater than pi. For the discontinuous mode of operation, beta is greater than pi but less than pi plus alpha. So from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to beta, inductor changes its polarity and fed back energy to the source. So the load voltage goes to negative from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to beta. Now thyristor T1 is commutated at omega t is equal to beta, which is already in reverse bias after pi. After positive half cycle, B is positive with respect to A. Now forward bias thyristor T3. Is triggered at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. With this, load current is again positive from A to K. When T3 is triggered, then the current flows in this direction. So we can see the load voltage is positive and also load current is positive. So with this, load current is again positive from A to K and builds up from 0 as shown in this diagram, as shown in this waveform. So here load current start build up. So at omega t is equal to pi plus beta means here pi plus beta I naught decays to 0 and T3 is naturally commutated. Load current is to be seen discontinuous. So we have to so load current is to be seen discontinuous from here from pi from beta to pi plus alpha, and here from pi plus beta to 2 pi plus alpha. After two positive half cycle of the load voltage and load current, thyristor T4 is gated at 2 pi plus alpha. At 2 pi plus alpha, T4 is triggered when A is positive with respect to B. As T4 is forward bias, it start conducting. At T4 is forward bias, it start conducting, but the load direction is reversed. That is, it is from K to A. When T4 is triggered or start conducting, then the load direction is in this way. So that means that the load direction is reversed or negative. After T4 is triggered, load current builds up in the negative direction as shown in this waveform and becomes 0 at 2 pi plus beta. At here, at 2 pi plus beta, load current becomes 0. Now at omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha. When B is positive, now here B is positive with respect to A. T2 is triggered and load current I naught against build up in the negative direction. So when T2 is conducting, then the load current flows in this direction. So load current is negative. Now before T2 is fired, T4 is naturally commutated. When T2 is triggered, before that T4 is naturally commutated. Now again T2 is commutated at 3 pi plus beta. That means here, and again T1 is triggered for the next half cycle in the same sequence. Or in this manner, two positive half cycle of the load voltage and load current is equal to the two negative half cycle of the load voltage and load current are generated as shown in this waveform. So it is seen from the this waveform diagram. So the output frequency of the voltage and current is equal to the half of the supply frequency, or we can see F0 is equal to Fs by 2. Now we have to discuss, this is the working for discontinuous load current, and now we have to discuss continuous load current. So in the continuous load current, so the current is continuous in nature. So when A is positive from 0 to pi, so when A is positive with respect to B, T1 is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha. Positive output voltage appears across the load and load current start building up. At omega t is equal to pi. At omega t is equal to pi, load voltage is 0. After omega t is equal to pi, T1 is reverse bias. T1 is become reverse bias, but as load current is continuous, T1 is not turned off at omega t is equal to pi. When T3 is triggered in a sequence at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, a reverse voltage appears across T1 and therefore T1 is turned off by natural line commutation. When T1 is commutated, load current has built up to a value equal to AB. When T1 is commutated. Here when T1 is commutated, the load current has built up to a value equal to AB as shown in this waveform. So with turning on T3 at pi plus alpha at here we have to trigger T3. So then the output voltage is again positive. As it was with T1 on. As a consequence, load current build up further than AB. Here the load currents further build up from AB. So at the end of the two positive half cycles, load voltage or output voltage and load current is beyond KL. Output voltage, half cycle of output voltage, load current is beyond KL. So the load current is beyond this KL value after two positive half cycle. After omega t is equal to pi, that means here after omega t is equal to pi, K is positive with respect to B. Here in this diagram, after 2 pi, K is positive with respect to B, again positive half cycle. But as due to the inductive load, T3 will remain on till the current reaches to 0. Here the T3 didn't turn off, so T3 is commutated up to the point M. So T4 is already triggered at omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. When current goes to 0 at point M, T3 turns off and T4 start conducting. When T4 is start conducting, load current is subjected to the negative voltage and load current I naught increase from 0 to negative value or 0 to negative direction as shown in this waveform. Now T4 is commutated at as T2 is triggered at omega t is equal to 3 pi. At omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha. Sorry, omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha. T4 is commutated. So commutated. So then the load current becomes more negative than EF. So the load current becomes more negative than EF at omega t is equal to 4 pi plus alpha. At omega t is equal to 4 pi plus alpha. This is because T2 is on, load voltage is negative. For two negative half cycle of the output voltage, for two negative half cycle of the output voltage or output current, for the two negative half cycle of the output voltage and output current I naught is shown in the waveform diagram. It is seen from the load current waveform that I naught is symmetrical about omega t axis. So this load current is symmetrical about omega t axis, and the positive group of voltage and current wave consists of two pulses. So positive group of voltage and positive group of current consist of two pulses, and for the negative group pulses. So the supply voltage has, however, gone through 4 cycles. So after here, up to here, so the output, up to here, the supply voltage has gone through 4 cycles, 4 half cycles. Then the output frequency is therefore the half of the supply frequency. So we can see F naught is equal to F 1 by 2 of Fs. It is similar to discontinuous mode, but the current in this continuous is continuous in nature, and the triggering of the thyristor is same as per the discontinuous load current. Now the last topic of this lecture is single phase to single phase step down bridge type cycle converter with RL load. So there is two mode of conduction. So first, discontinuous mode of conduction and continuous mode of conduction. So first we have to understand discontinuous mode of conduction. So the power circuit diagram is same as for the resistive load, but here we have to change the nature of the load. Here we have to use a resistive RL load. So first, discontinuous mode of operation. So when, let us assume this point is A, this is B. Sorry. So when A is positive with respect to B, forward bias thyristor T1 and T2 is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha. With this, load current I naught start building up in the positive direction. When T1 and T2 on, so then the load current is flowing in this direction from A to O. So later on, load current I naught becomes 0 at omega t is equal to beta. Here we have to trigger thyristor T1 and T2, and the load current becomes 0 at omega t is equal to beta. So beta is known as extension angle. So which is greater than, this angle is greater than, or omega t is greater than pi but less than the pi plus alpha. Now thyristor T1 and T2 commutated at omega t is equal to beta, which is already in reverse bias after pi. After a positive half cycle, B, then now B is positive with respect to A. Now forward bias thyristor T3 and T4 is triggered at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha. Here we have to trigger T3 and T4, and with this load current is again positive from A to O. So when T3 and T4 is triggered with negative half cycle, so then the current flowing in this through T3, then load, and then T4. So the current for this negative half cycle is also positive. So the direction of the current is this, from A to O. And with this the load current is again positive from A to O and build up from 0. Now at omega t is equal to pi plus beta, I naught decays to 0 and thyristor T3 and T4 is naturally commutated and the load current is to be seen discontinuous. From omega t is equal to beta to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, the load current is discontinuous or 0. So after two positive half cycle of the load voltage and load current, again terminal A becomes positive with respect to B, and with this thyristor S1 and S2 becomes forward bias and triggered at omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. So the thyristor S1 and S2 start conducting, but the load direction is reversed, that is from now from O to A. So when S1 and S2 is conducting with this positive half cycle, so the current flows through S1 and then load and then S2. So we can see the direction in this case is O to A. So which is the negative direction. So after S1 and S2 triggered, load current built up in the negative direction as shown in this waveform. Negative in the negative direction. Now at omega t is equal to 2 pi plus beta, I naught decays to 0. I naught decays to 0 and S1 and S2 is naturally commutated. Now in the next half cycle when B is positive, now B is positive with respect to A. So then S3 and S4 are triggered. S3 and S4 are triggered at omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha at here. And I naught again build up and decays to 0 before thyristor T1 and T2 is sequence. When before T1 again we have to trigger, after that we have to trigger T1 and T2 as in a sequence. Now in this manner two negative cycles of the load voltage and load current is equal to the two positive half cycles of load voltage and load current is generated. And from the waveform it is seen that the frequency of the output voltage and current is the half of the supply frequency. Now last, continuous load current. So the waveform is same as for the midpoint type cycle converter with RL load. So when A is positive with respect to B, thyristor T1 and T2 are triggered. Here T1 and T2 are triggered at omega t is equal to alpha. With this positive output voltage appears across the load and the load current starts building up as shown in the waveform. At omega t is equal to pi, at here load voltage becomes 0. After omega t is equal to pi, T1 and T2 are reverse bias. As the load current is continuous, so T1 and T2 are not turned off at omega t is equal to pi. And between the period from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, from omega t is equal to pi to omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, load inductor feeds the energy back to the supply. Now when the T3 and T4 are triggered at a sequence at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, a reverse voltage appears across T1 and T2. Sorry, so the no, where we are? So a reverse voltage appears across T1 and T2 when thyristor T3 and T4 are triggered, and therefore thyristor T1 and T2 is naturally commutated. So when T1 and T2 are commutated, load current build up to a value is equal to AB as shown in this waveform. So with turning on T3 and T4 at omega t is equal to pi plus alpha, output voltage is again positive, and it is with at it again positive at it was with T1 and T2 on. So as a consequence, load current builds up further than AB as shown in this waveform. So at the end of the two positive half cycle of output voltage and load current, after two positive half cycle of the load voltage and load voltage, then the load current is beyond KL. So the load current is beyond this value KL. After omega t is equal to 2 pi, after omega t is equal to 2 pi, A is positive with respect to B, but as due to the inductive load T3 and T4 will remain in conduction till the load current reaches to 0. Till the load current reaches to 0 at point M. So and now S1 and S2 are triggered at omega t is equal to 2 pi plus alpha. So when current goes to 0 at point M, T3 and T4 turns off and S1 and S2 start conducting. So when S1 and S2 start conducting, load is subjected to the negative voltage. So we can see from here, when S1 and S2 is conducting, so then the load voltage is negative. Load voltage is negative, subject to negative voltage, and load current increase from 0 to negative value or negative direction as shown in this waveform. So now S1 and S2 are commutated as S3 and S4 is triggered at omega t is equal to 3 pi plus alpha. So here we have to trigger S3 and S4. Before that, so S1 and S2 are commutated. So the load current becomes more negative than EF. So by triggering thyristor S1 and S2 with this, load current become more negative. Load currents become more negative than EF. So at omega t is equal to 4 pi plus alpha at here. This is because with S3 and S4 are on, load voltage is negative. For two negative half cycle of the output voltage and output current I naught, as shown in the figure. So it is seen from the load current waveform that I naught is symmetrical about omega t axis. So the positive group of the voltage and current wave consists of two pulses and same for the negative group waves. So two pulses for positive group and two pulses for negative group. So the supply voltage has, however, gone through 4 cycles. Supply voltage has gone through the 4 cycles. So then the output frequency is therefore half of the supply frequency. So it is seen from the waveform of midpoint. There is midpoint, yes, midpoint and bridge type cycloconverter. This is waveform of bridge type cycloconverter. That the shape of the waveform are same for each case, but the number of conducting thyristors are differ. That is, in midpoint type cycloconverter, only one thyristor conduct at a time. So in midpoint type cycloconverter, only one thyristor conducting at a time. So at an example, T1 is conducting here and T3 is conducting here at a time. And for the bridge type cycloconverter, this bridge type waveform of bridge type cycloconverter, and for the bridge type cycloconverter, so two thyristor is conducting at the same time. Here T1 and T2 at the end, and here T3 and T4. So this is the single phase to single phase cycloconverter. So in the upcoming lecture we will discuss about the 3 phase to 3 phase cycloconverters and 3 phase to single phase cycloconverter. And if you have any questions regarding this lecture, please leave a comment in the comment sections. Thank you.